On to piezoelectric generator. We saw what is inverse piezoelectric effect. Now we are going to see how it is used to formally to generate ultrasonic waves. Now if you see, the lower part of the circuit will be exactly the same as what you had in magnetostriction. This three-line structure here, it represents your magnetic material. Now here I have an piezoelectric piece of crystal and it is connected to another coil. This is the only extra fitting I have. Now what happens here is, as usual, current starts, it flows through my coil. Current carrying coil placed close to a magnetic field, a force is experienced. Because of that force, induced current in this coil, it comes back to the transistor, it amplifies, and this part is, it works exactly the same way as your magnetostrictor works. The only additional fitting is, this is again a magnetic field, some force is experienced, this is another current carrying coil. So an induced current is set up in this coil as well. So that current travels to both these left and right edges of this crystal. So the up and down edges will experience a force, either a compression or an elongation. That force causes vibration of air column and that leads to ultrasound generation. So that is how the piezoelectric generator works. Again, you have to match the frequency of this circuit with the frequency of the rod or the crystal, whatever is given in your question. So, makes sense? I am not going into too much detail in this because it's almost the same as magnetostriction. So, anyone wants me to repeat anything or any questions? Okay, moving on. Advantages are, it can generate even up to gigahertz. The previous one we saw, it only works up to megahertz. And stable frequency of operation, meaning the frequency output does not depend on temperature. That was one of the demerits of magnetostriction. So if your temperature of your working conditions changes, you might not get the desired frequency there. You might get something more or less. Here, frequency is independent of temperature. Demerits are self-explanatory. The crystal, it is an expensive material and it's difficult to cut and polish it. And these are just other applications of piezoelectricity.